Minecraft, the topic of this series, with this being the sequel. If you haven't seen the first part, do it, because I at least think it's a good idea before watching this. In summary, the first part was all about the Minecraft handbooks and how I interacted with them in my childhood. Odd start, I know, but this series as a whole will be all about the facets of the Minecraft community I remember growing up, with nostalgia being an overarching theme throughout, but less of a rose-tinted nostalgia and more of the saying it how it is with a tinge of cynicism type nostalgia. This episode is all about another thing, or person, or whatever that I remember a lot about whenever I was growing up, with that being old Herobrine himself. If you don't know who Herobrine is, please don't ask me. There are hundreds of videos talking about who he is and all of that, and they'll say it way better than I ever could, so I'll just link some of them in the description. And frankly, if you didn't know who he was, why are you clicking on the video? My job is to talk about all the things that have come out of Herobrine in the content scene, and so on. So without any further ado, let's get to the segment where I talk about how I remember seeing Herobrine a long time ago. When people say that certain gaming phenomena were playground rumors, they were not lying. Sadly, when I was growing up, I never got any of the cool ones because the only game anyone knew about in my school was Minecraft. As well as the age of the internet leading kids like me to be less gullible because of how much easier it was to disprove these rumors, leading to the eventual dissipation of the playground rumor. When these rumors were going around my school, one guy reigned supreme above them all. For every fake duping method that was spread around, there were 10 different Herobrine sightings or 10 different summoning methods for Herobrine. And I'd say with confidence that half the kids talking about Herobrine didn't even know that this guy was named Steve. And personally, I was very gullible. I mean, do you know how many Aether portals and Twilight portals I made that never worked because I had no idea what modding was? So every time someone said something about Herobrine, I just accepted it as fact, went home, and watched some videos about him. Then when Minecraft on the Xbox 360 was passed down to me by my brother, the first thing I did was lie about Herobrine being in my world. Does that make me a bad person? No, because clout is the fastest way to happiness. Though the things I did say were pretty lame. Like the world I was playing on the Xbox 360 was a hand-me-down from my brother and his high school friends from when they played on Minecraft together. I don't have this world though, sadly. It was lost to time. All I remember is that they had this huge castle and a troll-faced pixel art. God, my brother is cool. Back on track though, I would always say that I was having a party in said castle and Herobrine was invited, and came! Which is shocking for several reasons. I mean, for one, isn't he busy with other people? But anyways, time to get into the real meat of this video. When I talk about me hearing about Herobrine in school, that is sort of in bad faith. If I'm being truly honest, I heard most about him from the YouTubers I watched during the time. And since I didn't have an account back then, I couldn't subscribe to these people, and many I have forgotten when it comes to the details of their channel. But by using the power of putting date limits on the YouTube search, it allows me to see all the content I could have possibly seen during this time. So I picked a dozen of them and I'm going to be talking about them. So here we go, I suppose. Also, don't judge these picks, I am only human. Also, I'm going in order of release on these videos because I just felt like it. Also, in the description is a playlist that has all the videos I'm talking about today, okay? This video has nearly 9 million views, was made in 2010, and is just a glorified PowerPoint. How come making content can't be this simple today? This disclaimer card made me think this video was made in an ironic sense, but then I read the line about Rickrolls and Screamers and realized the guy making this video was being deadly serious, man. Now that's horror. This video presents itself as a documentary type video, showing images of the elusive Herobrine and trying to give history and make sense of what he is all about. Or at least I'd assume that's true, because I am not reading this creepypasta dump page no matter how much it would help my understanding of Herobrine. Except for the last page where they personally emailed Notch about his brother, to which he actually responded, which if true, may make all of my emails not for naught. This video also features the most iconic image of Herobrine, being this one. And my main question is that if people really want to know more about Herobrine and don't know how to contact the guy that took the photo, why not ask the chicken? I'm sorry, that was a bad one. Also, why does he keep adding so many filters to the single image where Herobrine is most visible? Like I got it the first time, he's right there. Next up is an Exploding TNT video about Herobrine, made in 2011, which if you don't know who Exploding TNT is and don't want to watch a documentary about him, just read his YouTube username out loud and think very hard about it. And this intro may even go harder than the first guy's. This video stars a ton of Herobrines, which I'd assume are some reskin zombies with speed 3 or something, running around in a cage of TNT delaying the inevitable doom that surrounds them, until they get blown up. This video is 57 seconds long and has 15 million views. That is not cinema, that is art! Only 7 million views this time, still respectable, now being made in 2012. The production quality here has gone up despite the lack of an intro. This video frames itself as a documentary like the first one, but with a lot more actual footage instead of blurry screenshots, as well as papyrus font. Let's go, baby! The video itself was clearly made by Herobrine himself because, well, how else would you get some of this footage? But you can also tell because of how psychotic some of these lines are. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why do you take joy in the killing, Mr. Herobrine? The main joys I personally got from this video was both the joy of the grammatical errors and at how ass Herobrine's house is. Like, what the hell is that? It just sucks so bad. And I also love how he says he fears no man and can never die while nearly getting shot by a spider jockey. That'll never not be funny to me. Okay, time for a Sky Does Minecraft video. Tread lightly. My mom didn't like me watching him growing up. Also being made in 2012 with a whopping 9 million views, this video is a mod showcase of a mod which adds, quote, more Herobrine. So let's just hit play.
Oh, not Burrito Brine! Not Burrito Brine! No! Not Burrito Brine!
Okay, there's gotta be like 100 Herobrine in this mod for Burrito Brine to be one of the things they came up with, because that just screams random word generator. Oh, okay, there's 12, but at least the intro is cool. He kicks off by talking about this Herobrine mod he plans to cover, which adds 12 new Herobrines with one for every biome. What? And also saying some bad words.
Yeah, if one Herobrine wasn't enough, we got 12 now, so fuck!
Anyways, every Herobrine is the exact same AI-wise, with them just chasing players and making gas sounds, with there being 1 Ender, 3 Nether, and 8 Overworld Herobrines. But I'm going to stop myself here because it's time to talk about a far better mod showcaser, in my own opinion. Yes, 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 yes! Woo, yeah! DANTDM for life, baby! This guy was by far one of my favorites to watch back in my heyday of being an impressionable child, and I would not have had it any other way. Have you seen all the things those other Minecraft YouTubers have done? Regardless, I vividly remember watching this video a ton as a kid, so it'll be a walk down memory lane to look back at this one video that enthralled me so much. With this video releasing in 2014 this time, with a total view count of holy Jesus. The video starts with a short backstory for Herobrine, painting him as a man bestowed with a poor fate, wanting to take that pain out on others, since he was also the first person to dig straight down or something like that. Anyways, then Dan opens up the chest to his left, and there goes all of my immersion. Anyways, after describing how to summon Herobrine and telling his tale, Dan turns to the oddly greenly named tag Dr. Trioris and texture pack, the dog, and tells him his Herobrine story was really epic and that he's going to sleep.
Good night, guys. Oh my god, Trioris. No, what is going on? Trioris, please no, please tell me you did not just do this. You have not made the Herobrine totem. Please tell me this is not true. Look at me. Trioris, please. Oh my god, really?
Then he says he has to get out of there quick because if the eyes on the totem have turned red, then Herobrine will come to get them quite soon. He gets out of the lab and is immediately attacked by tons of mobs infected with Herobrine Eye, or edgy TikTok eye as I like to call it. He then starts to understand the danger of his situation, and is oddly more worried about a single non-Herobrine witch than the army of white-eyed soldiers. Justifiably so, by the way. That poison effect goes on way too long. Then Dan encounters a Herobrine in the flesh, enacting Far Cry logic by becoming completely invisible while crouching.
I can't believe Trioris has done this. This is probably one of the worst things he's ever done.
This is the worst thing Dr. Trey has done. Dan, have you seen the video? Then he gets ambushed by everything Herobrine can throw at him, where then he jump cuts to back near the lab where he noticeably definitely died in between cuts, but I won't hold it to him. I too would have folded to Herobrine's gameplaying threats. Then Herobrine in chat tells him to send gore to planetminecraft.net. What? And then Herobrine gives Dan some chicken. With this and him asking him to play a game, you wonder if there really is anything to fear. The man just wants to have some fun. Actually, never mind. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
You Notch? Is this Notch? Oh, we got Notch.
This guy is not any better. Anyways, then the two powers of bigotry go at it, and Notch comes out on top and takes down Herobrine once and for all. This video is yet another attempt to give some much needed backstory to this enigmatic character. Releasing back in 2014, amassed a total of 7 million views, and also gets an epic intro. And an epic title card. Man, this guy was ahead of his time. This video starts off by showing the life of a normal Steve, with casual Steve activities including schizophrenically looking at pigs and chopping trees, while having psychotic episodes about his kin being with him. He then goes to mine diamonds with I can only assume to be the most buggy mouse of all time until he is ambushed by a group of zombies with a suspiciously sentient leader that gets the main Steve. Once he respawns, the video cuts to a pimping huss. How classy. With a Notch chilling inside watching CCTV footage of Schizo Steve. Notch notes on how lonely Steve is, so he decides to go make him a friend. He goes to his creepy basement where he's been growing experimental Steves, and god I wish coding was that easy. But then all of a sudden a pig steps on the pressure plate letting an unfinished Steve out of containment. He starts going crazy. Epileptics beware because oh my god, why is this part like this? After the blast, Notch flees the Mojang office in what I can only describe as duty. Notch is sure all the Steves didn't make it and scurries away. But little did he know, Herobrine was created in that blast. Understandably so, because my eyes would also have looked like that during the flashing light part. What was with that? You would be surprised to know I actually didn't mind this one. EvanTube HD. Now this guy was my GOAT, and this doesn't stop the streak of amazing intros, I'm afraid. And also, I refuse to hear any and all EvanTube slander. This video specifically came out in 2014 and got a whopping 10 million views, and was actually released to Evan's second channel, EvanTube Gaming. His Minecraft videos on here I watched repeatedly as a kid, but right now we're only here for one thing, Herobrine Island. Let's go.
Oh, what is that thing over there?
Herobrine Island. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it.
This is by far the most charming thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Let's go. Popular MMOs. Let's do this. Tread lightly. I didn't really enjoy his content as a kid. This video is part of a pretty big series on his channel where he opens lucky blocks, usually with a theme, along with his girlfriend at the time. And once they've broken enough blocks, they'll go into the arena where they will fight each other or something like that. And this one, believe it or not, is themed around Herobrine. Releasing in 2018 with 18 million views, it really makes you realize that Herobrine peaked in 2014. As I watched this video, I realized I was just a blatant liar, because at no point are the lucky blocks related to Herobrine in the slightest. They spend 14 minutes getting simple lucky block gear before deciding they want to go into the stadium and face off Herobrine, which okay fine, I can work with this. Let's see what this fight looks like. After all, it's gotta be pretty exciting for it to be the only thing that will make this video stand on its own 2 feet, and he got folded like a pancake. Unspeakable Gaming. Before he became a Mr. Beast copycat grifter, the guy actually made some decently entertaining content, at least for me as a little old kid. So since this video came out in like 2018 and barely even made it to 1 million views, he'll at least still be pure and at least watchable in this state. In this video, he plays through a Herobrine horror map, a subsection of Minecraft adventure maps all about terror. Now, before you ask what an adventure map is, I will explain it in more detail in later parts of the series. All you need to know for now is look at that scary thing. And guess what? We have another epic intro! Anyways, Unspeakable starts off by introducing the map, blah 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 blah. Give us the goods. Where is Herobrine? Wait a minute, that's not Herobrine, that's just a guy in a suit. And look at that haircut. After he fell off in 2015, he became emo, I guess, which is honestly a reasonable response. Unspeakable then goes into a creepy dungeon, does a Herobrine ritual, and the video ends. This video makes me mad because I wanted him to be wearing blue, not black! Preston Blaze. To me, he's one of those creators that have always been big, has always been around, and has always been contenting, and yet I just can't bring myself to recall a single memory in which I've watched him. But since he's fallen into the same sort of field Unspeakable has, with that being the whole leech aesthetic going on with his channel, it's going to be interesting to see a Herobrine video made by him in 2020. I mean, it has 18 million views. Something had to have clicked here. In this video, Preston plays Hello Neighbor Herobrine Edition. I will not elaborate more because I don't have to. The video starts with this Preston guy moving to a new place with a new creepy Steve neighbor who always wears sunglasses to cover his eyes. Anyways, nothing happens until like 4 minutes in, where he starts hearing knocks and weird sound effects outside. So he goes into his closet and grabs a ton of gear, which is the equivalent of having a SWAT team uniform and weaponry in your closet. I can't watch TV. Yeah, you can't, because your TV is 6 coal blocks. Anyways, he goes into the suspicious neighbor's house, fiddles with some spooks, and goes into the basement. Oh god. Anyways, the basement has usual basement stuff, such as cells housing people, posters with threatening connotations, and Herobrine shrines, like any other man cave. Anyways, then he runs home after Herobrine gives chase and is subsequently knocked out and imprisoned. More Preston content because it was a two-parter, baby! With this one releasing in the same year and getting 15 million views total, it picks up right where the last one left off by having Preston locked in some sort of cell, letting us know the usual things you would say while locked in a jail cell, such as needing more likes and subscribers, as well as pointing out a sign that has no point of being there because there's no need for him to come get him. You got him! Anyways, then Herobrine shows up and starts laughing at the Minecraft YouTuber, as he should. Anyways, then Preston gets out of his cell, damn it, and then makes his way to the least satanic sewer of all time, and gets a ton of super powerful armor and gear, which is the equivalent of finding a bazooka in your toilet. What is going on in this guy's neighborhood? Anyways, then Herobrine attacks him in an infinitely more entertaining boss fight than the one in popular MMOs video, and then he defeats Herobrine once and for all. This video came out in 2022, with just 6 million views to boot, and if you saw my previous comment on Unspeakable, you'll know to get away as fast as you can. With the power of loopholes, I can talk about the same person twice, because he has a second channel, simply titled Unspeakable, where he uploaded this video. Anyways, since the Unspeakable channel isn't his gaming channel, this is logically where he dumps all of his IRL content. Now, you may be asking, wait, if this is an IRL channel, and this also has to be about Herobrine because of the premise of this video? No, you don't mean... This arcade Craniacs-esque video begins right with them getting straight into the action. Literally, they just say, we have an hour to take him out, and then wabamo, he just makes the least conspicuous entrance of all time. I would like to note how bad the costume job is. Like, Herobrine is just Steve with white eyes, and they didn't even get that right. After talking to a villager, the gang is told about how they can take Herobrine down, and that is with 10 golden apples. Herobrine and doctors are more similar than I thought. Then Herobrine jumps them, gets socked in the face, and they start running away. It is at this point I realize they turn his glowing eyes off, and Herobrine looks a little bit more faithful now. Good job. Unspeakable Guy then reads off a sponsor from a site you'd find on like someone's school computer. How much did they pay him? Like a quarter? They attack a spider off Etsy, Herobrine starts cutting up, Herobrine gets stumped by a door with a window next to a bed of rocks? Like, okay man, it's clear you don't even want them at that point. And once they give the villager the apples, the villager tells them how to defeat Herobrine. He can't swim. Manslaughter it is. In retrospect, when it comes to how Herobrine is portrayed, I think more than anything else that he should not be portrayed as scary anymore. Let me explain. He was scary when he was conceptualized, when Minecraft was in its infancy, because back then everyone was new to the game, and Herobrine represented the fears of the unknown and all that, which is why so many modern takes of Herobrine take place in older versions, because that's just where he fits most. Personally, and this is really just my opinion, I like seeing Herobrine as a representation of older Minecraft in a more memorial light, doubling as a comedic sort of light. For example, that one Hermitcraft Season 6 episode where Herobrine just shows up and then leaves for what amounts to a gag. People who know Herobrine will remember him fondly instead of seeing him try to do his old spooky shtick, which won't work on the same audience in the modern era, as most of the people who were spooked by him as a kid grew up. Taking a character with no traits at all and making him do things that you wouldn't expect from a creepy, spooky pasta character or whatever is just so funny to me, and hopefully others. Which is why I always like that Monster School series despite avoiding it this whole episode, or like what most historians do to talk about Herobrine now, where they don't try and play him off as some super spooky guy and instead go for the angle of what he was to people at the time. And that would be to be talking more about the meta standpoint of his existence. Above else, and whatever you think of my opinion, you gotta admit this is cool. As for a roadmap of the series, I only have one more idea for an episode, and that's YouTubers I grew up watching that doubles as a modding episode because of DANTDM. Besides that, I'm all out of ideas for the series, so cheers to the Herobrine episode marking the halfway point, I guess.